Well, she made Essence Magazine's list of curvy fashionistas to follow, but this Chicago blogger has also inspired others with her personal wisdom on all topics. And here with her advice and tips on the world of dating, please welcome Hayet Rida. Hi, Hayet.
Hello.
Okay, so let's back up a little bit. How did you end up here in Chicago?
So I'm originally from Ghana, and I moved to the U.S. about 11 years ago, and I work in the ad industry, and that's what brought me to Chicago.
Yeah, and how did you start this hugely popular blog?
Well, it started about 3 years ago. I was just like, you know what? I need some curvy women out there inspiring who I used to be.
Yeah.
So just told my story.
Yeah, and I read that you were like, what better way to start a blog, because I like taking selfies anyway.
Listen, I was sending my friends pictures and they were fed up. So it was like, at least let me make money off of it.
Yeah, and then because obviously you're a fashionista, but now you've kind of branched out into just like every topic. You're not afraid to touch any of that.
No, I think there's true authenticity in being your vulnerable self. So I want people to know that behind the black dress, the red lip, and the banging hair is a real person.
Yeah. I love that. And I hear a little bit of that accent coming
Yes.
through too. You haven't lost that.
No.
Yeah.
It's not as strong as it used to be, but it's still here.
It is still there. All right. Well, before we get into your dating tips, you got to like qualify yourself. What's your love situation?
I have a whole boo.
You got a whole boo.
Yeah.
Not a half a boo, a whole one?
A whole one.
Okay. How long have you been dating?
We've been dating for almost a year.
Almost a year. Okay, so you feel like you can you qualified yourself to speak on these dating tips,
Yes.
right? All right, well, let's get to it. Here we go. Number one, before you buy gifts, ask yourself, am I buying this because I love him or her, or because I want him or her to love me? What does this mean?
So this one is extra special, especially since Valentine's Day is coming. A lot of times we buy gifts for people as conditional offers of, because I bought you this sweater, you have to be loyal, stuff like that. So like the biggest thing is you have to tell yourself, I'm only buying this because I care for them. There's no sort of expectation attached to a gift, because if you break up with a person and you see them in a new picture in that sweater, you should not be mad because you didn't buy it for them with that condition attached.
Right, and you shouldn't expect the gift back, right? Because you should be buying because you want to.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. Number two, don't keep going back to what broke you. What do you mean?
Let the church say amen.
Let the church say amen.
I mean, a lot of times people will keep going back to, like, if someone says they don't want you, you sort of have to move on and have enough self-love. I always tell people it's like trying to rent an apartment and they say, I don't want you to live in the building, but every month you put in an application. It's like, have some respect for yourself and go to the other apartment buildings that are open for rent.
Hello. I like that. Can the church say amen? All right, number three, trust purpose, not people.
Yes. So a lot of times people go into relationships and they're like, this person is going to be my husband, or this person is going to be this. And I say, no, allow the person's purpose to manifest. You know, you never know what they're there to teach you. Like, I started my blog after a bad breakup. If that had not happened, I will not be sitting here on this stage. So I have to look back and say, that had a purpose in my life. So don't go in and give people these high expectations, because that's how you'll fail.
Right, good point. All right, number four, be with someone who you can sit together and say, let's fix this. It's always the two of you against the problem, not against each other.
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, this is one I have to always keep working on myself, but a lot of times couples will be against each other when there's a problem, but you have to be someone who you say, this is my partner, and whatever the case, it's us against the problem. We're not gonna let something come between us. It's we have to figure it out together.
Right. All right. Good advice. And number five, love yourself so love won't be a stranger when it comes.
You know, you always see these social media things about self-love, and I personally roll my eyes at this whole self-love thing because I did not know what it meant.
You're not buying it.
Now I get it a bit more, because you actually have to tell yourself, I love myself to this standard. So when you're holding up and comparing love, you have to say, you have to love yourself. You have to love me as much as I love myself. And if you can't do that, well, I'll go to another apartment building for rent.
Yes. All right, Hayet, thank you so much for being here. All right. Good advice, right?